Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Julie. Thank you for joining me today. If you saw last week's video, you would know that I started a new series on gnomes. I'm working on the October one, even though it's November. I actually wanted to start this a little bit ago and I just didn't have the materials they hadn't been shipped to the house yet. So I delayed it a little bit. But anyway, I had to start petal A, and I got that completed on the video of last week if you saw it. And I also had to make two of the exact same ones. So these two here are the same size. When I read ahead the instructions for petal C and petal B. And petal B, we just had to decrease it by 1. So it's just a little bit smaller. I don't know if you can tell on the video, if it's just a little bit smaller. And then C was exactly the same thing, just one smaller than the B. So I went ahead and made all 4 of them. What I have to do next is I have to sew them together. So I will get all my things arranged so that they're, easy to grab, and I will be right back. Okay, so as per the directions, we have to sew 2 of the petal A's together in the center. So I'm assuming that means close to the center ring. So that's what I'm going to do anyway. So I will get this threaded. Okay. That wasn't too difficult, which is good. So on the bottom one, I'm going to leave the long string because this flower actually attaches onto the top of the hat. So I'm going to leave that there, that tail, so that I can actually sew it onto the hat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these on top of each other and start sewing. It doesn't really give you specific directions on how to do this. It just says to do the 2 together in the center. So I'm try to find the center of the 2 rings here. I don't know if you can see, I made it through the one. There's through the second one. Oh, this I can see is going to be difficult. It keeps catching all the petals. Okay, but I got to try to keep that out of the way. Okay, so I will go down through both of them. Try not to snaggle it. Okay, up through the center of this hole, the magic ring, and up through the center of this magic ring. So I guess when you sew these things together, any of the the stuffed animals that I make, any of these things, when you're sewing them together, you kind of have to like wrangle them a little bit, like you're wrestling something, to get them, into the position that you want so you can sew them and attach them to each other. But oops, I'm terribly sorry. I just banged you and moved you around quite a bit. So I don't know if you noticed there, I like helped my thumb help the thread a little bit. So actually they're attached really well. So I'm just gonna make a knot back here. Let's see, this is the tail I want, so I don't want to get that in the way. All right, so I'm just gonna come up just through some of these and make a knot. Okay, and this is the one I want to cut off. Okay, so there are the 2 petal A's attached to each other. Okay, and that's what it looks like on the bottom. So I'm got a couple little tails there, but they won't show because they're going to be, down on the hat. But that's what it's starting to look like already. So let's see, what is this? It's supposed to be a marigold. So there's my marigold. All right, I will get my petal B here. All right, let's see. This, I believe, is, yep, this one's petal B. All right, so I will thread this yarn. And basically, I'm going to try to do the same thing. I'm just going to set it right on top. And I might actually just, let's see, make sure this is not going to irritate. I think I'm just going to catch a few of the yarns here, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to come up through, excuse me, petal B. All right. Make sure I'm not grabbing any other petals. That's what I was worried about if I went through to the bottom. Okay, so I went through petal B, going through petal A. All right. A few more stitches here. Back up through petal B. Well, see what I said, it's not the easiest thing. You kind of got to wrestle and wrangle with it. I just want to get it close to the center of my 2A petals. Try to keep this from bunching up. All right, so back up through. And as long as it looks good to you, well, I hope I got you in frame here. But as long as it looks good to you, you don't really have to worry about it too much. Okay, see how it's looking? Looks like a mess right now, but trust me. Okay, and that's on there. So I'm going to try to find, okay, where I'm at. And I'm actually a little off center there. So I'm going to come back up through the magic ring to the very bottom. And I am going to knot it just like I did with the other one. So I'll grab a couple of my stitches that I've previously made. Okay. Go through there once, pull that tight, go through it a second time, pull that tight, and then pull it tight there. So now I've got a knot, and I know all the knots are on the very bottom of the flower, nowhere near the top. Okay, so this is the bottom. It's getting to look a little ratty, but remember it's going to be next to the hat, so no one's going to see it. And this is my tail for sewing it onto the hat. Now I'll grab my petal C, which is a little bitty guy. And he's probably going to be really fun to rustle the flower with. Whoops. That happens sometime to me. I don't get all, I think there's 4 actually on this. Okay, so here's the very bottom. Find the magic ring here. Let's see. Oh, right there. Okay, so I'm going to try to get close to the magic ring. I'm going to go to the side of it. Bring it up through. And I could do this a lot faster, but I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing. So if there's anyone attempting to do things like this, they could actually do it on their own. And let's see. No. Oh, I might have just bumped you again. I'm terribly sorry. Okay. So now I'm going to come up through petal A, close to the magic ring. See where my thread's going, because I don't want to catch any of the petals and make it look wonky. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the center. Okay, grab a couple stitches down there underneath. All right. Come up again through petal A. All right, into the magic ring. Grab a couple more stitches. Okay. Oh, and those are held on good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up one more time into petal A. All right. See if I can find the magic ring that I buried. All right. So I'm going to go right down into the center of the flower, all the way down to the bottom. All right, made it into, I think that's the magic ring. I got so many knots down there, it's hard to tell. Make sure I don't grab any of the petals. All right. So now I'm on the bottom of the flower and I'm going to make my knots just like I did before. Come up through, make a loop. All right, go through my loop. Pull that loop closed so I have a second loop. Now I'm going to go through the second loop. Make sure I close that one and then just tighten everything up together. And then this is the one that I'm going to cut off and discard the extra thread. Okay, so now this is the bottom, and this is my tail to sew onto the hat. Okay, so if we flip it over, this is my marigold. All right, it looks like a marigold to me, or at least best as I can tell here. But that's it right there. So next step I have to get my teak color out, which I am using Nest. If you know, I'm using the Willow Yarns, the Meadow series, and my color that I'm using for the hat is going to be Nest. So I will get that out and I will start working on that. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Bye.